So the question comes to mind, if I can export something to a file, can I then import the contents of that file back into PowerShell? And yes, you can. You have an import CSV and an import CLI XML. So let's just go ahead and import the files we just exported. So I'm going to go to my PowerShell. I'm going to go import, CSV, and I don't have, I'm not piping anywhere, I'm just telling it where I want to import it from. Desktop services.csv. That was the file that we left here. Let me close the browser there. That was the file that we left here on the desktop. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and expand this and hit enter. Oh my, this is interesting output, isn't it? What's going on here? Well, it's importing all 14 of those properties. And so for each service, we're seeing a list of all 14 properties. It's not in a table format like it was when we just did a get service earlier. The reason it's not putting it in a table is because since there's 14 properties, that thing would extend all the way out and it would just cut a lot of it off. And so it put it in a different format. Later on, we're going to talk about how to format things differently. So just hold on to that thought, and later in the course we will deal with that formatting. Let's also do our XML and see what happens. Import CLI XML, D, desktop, and services.xml. Let's see what we get. And now we get it in a different format. Now we actually get it in the form of a table. There's some stuff going on in the background in PowerShell that's causing the different ways that it formats it. So you can see why the XML might be handy, because if you're going to be reading it in PowerShell, you get the exact same format that you do when you save it. So why would I ever save it in an XML format? Well, if I'm going to be using it again in PowerShell, it's going to look exactly the same as if I did the get service to start with.